In this video, I'm going to show you how to force your user to complete all three modules of this tutorial before they can complete a quiz. So once they visit modules 1, 2, and 3, a quiz button will appear down below, allowing them to take the quiz. The method I'm showing you in this video is the simplest way possible I could find to do this. There are better ways and there are different ways, but this is the easiest possible way if you want to get started with this. So first, let me show you exactly what I mean by what I'm going to teach you. I've got a sample tutorial already set up using Captivate. When your user visits Module 1, they jump to Module 1. There's a little home button to take them back to the main menu. You can see I've got it set so Module 1 has a state of visited, so it's grayed out after they've already visited it. They visit Module 2, go back to the main menu. They visit Module 3, they go back to the main menu, but now a new button has appeared. All three modules have been visited and are now grayed out, and now the quiz button appears and they're able to visit the quiz. Okay, so to get this done is a little more complicated, I would like, because this is Captivate, but it's simple enough. It's a good starter project if you want to get going with advanced actions and variables. All right, so there's two advanced actions that we need to set up for this project. You need an advanced action that's going to affect a variable that is keeping track of whether or not they visited each module, okay? So how I did this was I set up a variable that has 1 added to it every time they visit a module. So they visit Module 1, the variable turns to 1. They visit Module 2, the variable turns to 2. Visit Module 3, variable turns to 3. 1 is added to the module variable every time they visit a module. The second variable is checking to see if that variable has reached 3 yet. So every time they come back to the main menu, there's an advanced action that is triggered to check if the variable is triggered. So let me actually show you how this works. All right, so here's my example button here. In Captivate and in Storyline as well, you can always check to make sure your variables are working by putting them into a little text caption on a main slide so you can watch them change. So I'll show you. This is the variable called module visits. I'll preview this project so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so initially the variable is set to 0. It's always going to display to me the value of the variable here. So once I visit module 1, I head back. Now the variable has a value of 1 because I visited one module. And this doesn't matter which order I visit the modules in. So if I visit module 3, head back, now it has a value of 2. So it's adding 1 to a variable every time I visit a module. If I visit module 2, head back, it has a value of 3, and now a quiz button has appeared. All right, so this variable has to equal 3 before the quiz button appears. So again, 2 advanced actions have to be set. One that adds 1 to this variable every time a user visits a module. Another advanced action that's checking to see if this is equivalent to 3 or not. I'll show you how I have these set up under advanced actions. Again, I've got just the one variable. I named it module visits. I set its initial value to 0. So you only have to set up one variable for this project. Again, I tried to make this as simple as possible. There's better and different ways to do this, but this is the simplest way to do this, okay? So module visits, initial value is set to 0. And then I have 2 advanced actions. I have one called module visit increment, and I have one called quiz appears. So module visit increment is my first advanced action, and it's really simple. It's just a plain non-conditional advanced action, and all you have to do is set increment module visits by 1. So when you choose this, you can actually just look for the command increment. You choose your variable module visits, and you enter the number 1, okay? So this is going to add 1 to module visits every time this action is triggered, okay? And the other one is quiz appears. Quiz appears is a conditional action, so it's a little bit trickier. Under the if tab, so make sure the conditional tab is checked. Under the if tab, you'll select your variable module visits, and I want it to be greater or equal to 3. So the idea here is if all conditions are true, it's going to show the quiz button. I do recommend naming your items in your slide here so that they're really easy to identify when you're working with advanced actions. So I named that one quiz button so it's really clear which button I wanted to address. So again, my variable, I only have one variable, it's module visits. Its default value is 0. I want it to be greater or equal to 3. When it is, my main menu slide is going to show the quiz button, okay? Else, it's just going to continue. So a conditional advanced action has two elements, if and else. So if my variable is greater or equal to 3, it's going to show the quiz button. If it's not greater or equal to 3 in any other scenario here, the slide's just going to continue, okay? So you do have to set both of these. It's really simple. Just choose your variable, greater or equal to 3, show the button you want to show, else, continue. And of course, there's other things you can do here under actions. I'm just kind of showing you the basic idea here of how to get this done. All right, so those are set up. I can close that. And now the two places where I set these up is on the main menu and then on each module slide. So on the main menu, I have on enter, I have it set to execute the advanced action quiz appears, okay? So that's the quiz button. The quiz button is set to hidden. See up here in the corner here, it's set to hidden when the tutorial first loads. And this advanced action is going to check every time the main menu loads to see if this variable is set to 3 yet or higher before the quiz button will load. So this is 3 or higher, the quiz button will load. So I have this set to go every time this slide loads. Every time the slide enters, the user enters the slide, it's going to execute this advanced action quiz appears. Remember, that's the conditional action with the if or the else. The second place I have an advanced action is on every single module slide. So I actually just created one module slide and I just duplicated it to save myself a little bit of effort. But on each of these slides, I have on enter, execute advanced action, module visit increment. So this is the advanced action that's going to add 1 to module visits, my variable, every time the user enters, okay? So when the user is on the main menu, they click module 1, they go to the module 1 slide, it's going to execute this advanced action. The user doesn't know what's happening, it's happening behind the scenes, but it's going to add 1 to my variable. And this advanced action runs on each of the main module slides, okay? Again, this is the easiest way I could figure out how to do this. There's other ways to do this. This is kind of the easiest way. So it's the same advanced action executing on all 3 module entry slides. And that's going to affect this variable here. So again, when they enter the main menu, this advanced action runs to see what the value of this variable is. If it's high enough, it's going to show the quiz button. That variable changes based on whether or not they're visiting each module button. So, I mean, potentially they could visit module 1 3 times and this will be set to 3. But hey, again, simplicity here. Ideally, they'll run through each of the 3 modules. This will change to 3 and then the quiz button will appear. And so that's it. There you have it. I'll show you the whole shindig once again. They visit module 1. The advanced action runs here to add 1 to the variable. I go back, you can see that it's worked. They visit module 2. 1 is added to my variable. You can see that it worked. Quiz button still hasn't appeared until we visit module 3. 1 more is added to my variable, and now the quiz button appears and the user can head off to the quiz. All right, so that's it. I can move that off of the stage so my users can't see it, but I like having it there for testing. And now if I play the whole project when I publish, this is how the user will experience it. Just 1, 2, and 3. And they won't see my little testing button there off to the side. Okay, so I hope this is helpful to you. I've gone ahead and posted a link to this file underneath the video. So go ahead and see the video description and I'll post the link there. If you don't find it there, find it on my website. I hope this has been helpful to you and you're able to be successful in making your own conditional main menu.